of Western New York, offering patients the most sophisticated medical advancements while keeping the ease and familiarity of a community hospital. Support for Chautauqua Sunrise has been provided by WRFA 107.9 FM, Jamestown's public radio station, streaming online 24/7 at WRFALP.com. Low power to the people. Meter's Restaurant, a family tradition for over 50 years in downtown Ripley, is a proud supporter of Chautauqua Sunrise. Meter's provides all-day dining, banquet services, and custom catering, specializing in pie. Funding for Chautauqua Sunrise is provided in part by the Chautauqua County Industrial Development Agency, with offices in Jamestown and Dunkirk, helping businesses to prosper throughout Chautauqua County. From supporting people with disabilities to enjoy great lives, to providing health care services that are available to anyone, the Resource Center has been improving our county for more than 60 years. Learn more about how the Resource Center makes a positive difference in people's lives.
Is getting vaccinated on your to-do list? We can help you check it off, because we make getting vaccinated easy. You've got this, because we've got you. To learn more, visit yougotthis.usaging.org.
From the Access Chautauqua Studios in Mayville, it's Chautauqua Sunrise. Chautauqua Sunrise is hosted by Doc Hamels and supported by the award-winning volunteers at Access Chautauqua. We are here to share local news, colorful interviews, and events of interest to everyone. Chautauqua Sunrise is broadcast live Saturday mornings each week from 9 to 10 a.m. Send events via email or call us live. Check us out on YouTube and Facebook. And now, from the Access Chautauqua Studios, it's Chautauqua Sunrise.
There I am. That was a short show. Say that 10 times fast. Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm Doc Hamels, and welcome to Chautauqua Sunrise. Hope you're doing well. The weather has been kind of good and hot and muggy. It gets your hair kind of frizzy, doesn't it? Folks in the audience are shaking their heads. Okay. Well, we're so glad to be here once again, and it's August. How did that happen? Holy cow. I know I say that a lot, but holy cow. August. We're going to have a show today that is going to involve not one, not two, but three authors. I've interviewed a lot of authors, but I've never worked with three at the same time, so this is going to be a lot of fun. So please do stay tuned. If you can't watch the whole show, I got good news. You can go to our Facebook page, Chautauqua Sunrise, and you can watch it there. Or after usually a day or so, Chris will post this show on YouTube, and you can watch us over and over and over again. This is the 523rd show, so we've got over 500 shows on YouTube. Ooh, wow. All right. Enough on that. Good afternoon for those of you that are listening to us on WRFA 107.9, low power to the people in Jamestown, New York. Thanks for checking in with us. I think what you're going to hear today, you're going to find interesting. And for those of you of the literary persuasion, I think you're going to enjoy this a lot. Okay, so Tuesdays at 1 o'clock, and thanks for having us once again on the radio. Good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Natalia, we're thinking of you and your friends in the Ukraine. And hey, your fellow Ukrainians are doing pretty good in the Olympics. I've been spot checking the show once in a while, and it's kind of fun watching all the competitions and things. The swimming is fine and the running is fine, but I like seeing the shot put and the discus and all the oddball things. There were some things I never saw before. I can't even explain them all, but I like watching some of the steeplechase stuff. So I forgot how many different events there are, like 300 different events or something crazy like that. So lots of fun. It kind of takes our attention off of some of the other things in life. So Oh, speaking of fun things, today's the last day for the rodeo in Gary, New York. Our friends were here last week and they were talking about all the things going on. And I've seen pictures in the newspaper. Justin, they're having a good time. They've had a good week for weather-wise. And I think tonight's going to be a good night. It's supposed to have a little bit of rain today maybe, but this evening I think it's supposed to clear off. So it's your last chance. So check out the Gary Rodeo over in Gary, New York. All right. I'm going to make a point probably every week. Maybe, we'll see. I never know about myself. To remind you that if you are looking for schedules, if you're looking for more information about what's going on in the county that I can't get into because I'm only here for an hour, check out the Chautauqua Gazette. Lori Cornell was here a couple weeks ago and she lists all the different activities that are going on in the area. But I highlight some of them that are sent to us, so we'll be talking about them here shortly. But check out the Chautauqua Gazette. Oh, and the next one, my next note here, this was a really cool thing. About a week ago, I was invited, and my wife, to Meter's Restaurant, one of our underwriters that you see in the beginning. And it turns out that Meter's Restaurant, that is, not necessarily people, but the people that have owned Meter's Restaurant over the years, they have been given a designation by New York State as a historical business, and they are on the Historical Business Registry. And I, as the town historian, I've been able to supply some of the information for the background on that. And George Barella was there, Andy Goodell was there, and they presented Bob and Sheila Bentley, who you've seen here on the show, a certificate of registry, and that's pretty cool. In 1961, October, Andy Meter was the original owner of the restaurant and opened it up all those years ago. So stop by. They've got a nice display in the main restaurant part there, and congratulate Bob and Sheila, and also the Babcock family. They were a part of the history as well as the Meters, and they're all related through cousins and aunts and uncles and that sort of thing. So it's always been somehow connected to a family member. So congratulations to Meters. I have a few announcements that I want to get to. I'm messing with my earpiece here, so I apologize. I'm trying to get it so it sounds right. For veterans, many of you know about the Dwyer Group, and this is an organization that focuses on the good things that veterans should be focusing on and the healthy things, getting together, having coffee, whatever. But they have a special day coming up just for the Chautauqua County veterans. And it's called the Chautauqua County Veterans Suicide Prevention Coalition. And it's going to be a wellness day. All right, without going through everything that's going to go on, I would just give you a highlight. It's going to be held this week, Wednesday, August 7, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Celeron Legion, right? And it's a day dedicated to bringing veterans and local service providers together under one roof. Discover the range of services available to veterans in our community, all right? Food and drinks will be provided to the first 100 participants. Free haircuts. Who knew? You can get your hair cut, get something to drink and eat, and find out about all the good services that are available for veterans in Chautauqua County. August 7th, Celeron Legion over on Jackson Avenue. Check it out. Okay, we got another slide. This is from our friends at the Ridge Lene. It says the nostalgic comedy Summer Camp marks the return of a regular movie showings at the Ridge Lene Center for the Arts, following the installation of new seats. They're open. The first one is Summer Camp. This is going to be shown Wednesday, August 7th at 7 p.m. It tells the story of Nora, Ginny, and Mary, who have been best friends since being inseparable at summer camp. As the years have passed, they've seen each other less and less, so when the chance to reunite for a summer camp reunion arises, they all take it. Some begrudgingly and others excitedly. Each of their lives might not be where they'd imagine, but one thing is for sure, Nora, Ginny, and Mary need each other, and summer camp reminds them why. The film also features Eugene Levy. Summer camp is rated PG-13, and it's 96 minutes long. Now, something you should know. The Reg has all new seats in the Palace Theater, which were unveiled at the Lucille Ball Comedy Festival. New features includes more comfortable cushioning and transfer arms on select seats for patrons with mobility issues. That's cool. The purchase and installation of the seats was made possible by support from the New York State Council on the Arts, Sheldon Foundation, Hultquist Foundation, Chautauqua County Partnership for Economic Growth, and Chautauqua County Industrial Development Agency. And I know they were accepting donations from locals as well. Tickets are only $8 as a rule in person at the box office and $10 online. You can give them a call at 484-7070. And family showings, if it's a family movie, is only $7. So check it out. And the box office is open Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 12 to 5. So again, 484-7070 if you want to catch a movie. Okay, let's go on to Jamestown's Cruisin'. It'll be next weekend, August 9th. Hot rods, cool classic cars, and elegant autos of all makes and vintages will line the streets of downtown Jamestown for the 31st year as Jamestown Cruisin' returns. Justin, is your uncle going to go in there with his car? Probably not. All right, I know you guys have been working on a what is this car again?
He has a Chevelle and a Camaro.
A Chevelle and a Camaro. Oh, wow. All right, the Cruisin' will run from 5 to 9 p.m. on 3rd Street between Spring and Washington Streets and encompassing the connecting streets of Pine, Main, and Cherry between 2nd and 4th. The streets will be closed at 3 p.m. that day. All vehicles entering the show are asked to enter between 3 and 5 at the intersection of 3rd and Spring. The cost is only $10 per vehicle, and so on. Okay, other attractions would be the unique, beautiful, interesting cars and trucks themselves. Their owners spend countless hours of caring for their special vehicles and enjoy showing them off to the community during the events of all over the place. We have a running joke in our family that I wash my car every time it rains. Moving along, Jamestown Cruisin' attracts many drivers, so the show is always diverse and expansive. Okay, let's see. And then you folks get to vote for I guess they call it audience's favorite or the People's Choice Award. All right, so that's again August 9th from 5 to 9 p.m. down on 3rd Street. All right. Some of us like these guys, some of us don't like these guys, but there are people that like bees. The Cornell Cooperative Extension of Chautauqua County's Master Gardener program is excited to announce that Chautauqua County Beekeepers Association will hold their monthly meeting on Thursday, August 8th at 7 p.m. at the Fluvanna Community Church over on Fluvanna Avenue in Jamestown. Why do I even talk about these things? Because Chautauqua County is so varied and we have so many different folks that do so many different things. In my own hometown of Ripley, we've got beekeepers, all right? Without bees, we're in trouble, so keep those bees coming. The August focus will be on seasonal activities, including when and if to harvest honey, looking ahead to winter, and when and if to treat for mites. Hey, if you're interested in learning more about beekeeping, give them a call, 664-9502. 664-9502. Last month we talked about the lantern fly there, remember? So I like to keep people abreast of what's going on in the county as far as the agricultural side of things. All right, let's go back to Jamestown to my friends over at Infinity. We got a slide for that. The Infinity Visual and Performing Arts is proud to announce the addition of Elizabeth Brewer to their team of instructors. There she is. Liz will be teaching private lessons in brass and woodwind instruments, as well as group classes and specialized workshops for Infinity Center students. As a former Infinity student herself, Liz is beyond thrilled to return to share her love of music and arts with the next generation of performers. A graduate of Jamestown High School, Liz went on to study music education as a clarinetist, say that 10 times fast, at SUNY Fredonia, where she studied under the late Amron Chodos. In addition to her time at Fredonia, she has also been a private student of local area educators, including Alicia Alaska, Ralph Rasmussen, and Andrew Minton. As a performer, she's played various instruments with ensembles such as the Infinity Big Band, Jamestown Area Chamber Orchestra, JCC Concert Band, Jamestown Municipal Band. She's everywhere. SUNY Fredonia Wind Ensembles, and has even performed twice with the Buffalo Philharmonic Orchestra. How cool is that? Nice props. She continues to perform regularly with nearly any area group that asks. Okay, so if you're interested to know about her program or anything at Infinity, 664-0991. 664-0991. You always can go to their website, which is basically Infinity Performing Arts, all one word, .org. Infinity Performing Arts, one word, .org. Then, something for your information. Okay, as you know, there's many farmers markets that are going on in the area constantly throughout the area. And this is from the county for Office for Aging Services, and they want to know about Senior Farmers Market Nutrition Program. It's a coupon booklet that's now available. So let's see how this goes. Chautauqua County Office for the Aging Services is excited to announce the availability of Senior Farmers Market Nutrition Program coupon booklets for income eligible older adults. These coupon booklets, valued at $25, can be used at farm stands and farmers markets to purchase fresh, nutritious, locally grown fruits, vegetables, and herbs. My pears are like on steroids this year. The blackberries are about the size of the top of my thumb. The blueberries are done, and I'm just a little guy. I mean, we have so much going on here with fresh vegetables. So let's see what's in fruits. So where can you get your coupons? Fredonia Farmers Market, Westfield Farmers Market, the Jamestown Farmers Market. For instance, today, I know for a fact that Westfield and Jamestown farmers markets are open, so you can check them out there. So there's some eligibility stuff. You gotta have income $2,322 per month for a household size of one. I think that's the top. If there's two of you, $3,051 per month for a household of two, as I said. Age, you must be 60 years or older. You got to bring proof of age. I just show up. They don't ever question it. Program details. Each eligible senior can receive one coupon booklet. This program is free. Okay, one more time. Free for all participants. If you have not yet received a coupon booklet and meet the eligibility criteria, they encourage you to take advantage of this wonderful opportunity. If you have any questions, you can always give them a call at the Office for the Aging, and it's listed on all kinds of websites, and check it out. So if you're done at the farmers markets, ask about the nutrition program coupon booklet. All right, then we have something else that's kind of cool. There's a new Chautauqua County marketing effort focusing on the county's craft beverage and wine producers with an additional focus on eco-tourism opportunities. That's a new one. The Chautauqua County Grape and Grain Trail is a collaboration between the Chautauqua County Partnership for Economic Growth and the Chautauqua County Visitors Bureau. It's designed to showcase the various wineries, craft breweries, and craft distilleries located within the county, along with its numerous outdoor activities and nature attractions, and welcome visitors to the area. They want to brand Chautauqua County as a destination for not only wine enthusiasts, but also for those who enjoy beer and distilled spirits, while also distinguishing the county from other wine and craft beverage producing destinations by highlighting the county's abundant trail networks, waterways, other natural public spaces for recreation, and the amenities that support ecotourism, according to Mark Geis, who is the Deputy County Executive for Economic Development. Ooh, this sounds like stuff I talk about all the time. There is so much going on in Chautauqua County, I don't even have time to talk about it all. That's why I tell you to look at the Gazette or things like that. But this is way cool. Everybody's teaming up to promote Chautauqua County. Okay, so that's going on, and keep your eyes open for that as you go along. It's called tourchautauqua.com. And finally, I'm going to be at the Farmers Market in Westfield today, and we're going to be selling raffle chances for a nice barbecue setup, and it's through my Rotary Club. So if you're there, look for a guy with a real bright flowery shirt. I'll be wearing it, and come on over and say, hey, I saw your show. You're really cool. Whatever. We're going to take a little break. We'll be right back with my guest who can't wait to get on. Stay tuned.
When you're out there, there's no telling what you'll find. look at you.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Folks, we're back, and it is my pleasure to introduce three ladies that have taken on a new project, and we're going to talk all about it. But the thing they have in common, they're authors. They write books. How cool is that? So welcome, the Lit Chicks.
That's us.
That's you. We got Mary Ellen Humphrey,
Right.
Susan Landrigan.
Yes.
Did I say that right?
Yes, you did.
I practiced this morning, and of course, Shannon Reber. And both Mary Ellen and Shannon have been on the show before. So Susan, welcome to the show, and hope you enjoy your time here with us. Before we get started, I'm still messing with this earpiece because I'm getting this really strange buzz in there. They switched up the, tell you what guys, I'm going to just take this right out and just flip it back there. And if there's a phone call, just give me the high sign, okay? It's like hearing myself in echoing and buzzing, and it's just not a good thing. Okay, so I told you I was going to ask you to talk a little bit about yourselves. You know, we can always jump into the topic of writing, but let's learn a little bit about where you're from and, you know, maybe how you got involved with writing. Mary Ellen, you're the closest one to me, so we'll start with you.
Well, I've been writing for a long, long time, and I retired in 2018 and moved here to be closer to my family. And then I discovered and it was actually thanks to you.
It's my fault.
It is your fault, because
I've been hearing that right along.
you introduced me to Lakeshore Center for the
Right,
Arts,
right.
who asked me to do a memoir writing workshop, which has turned into a writers group. And I can't say enough good things about Lakeshore Center. In fact, it was so exciting for me that I sold the house I built in Ripley. No
Yes,
offense.
bye-bye.
And I moved to Westfield. And I can now walk to our writers group and meet all the wonderful people who are in what we're creating is a writing community. And so Shannon and Susan and I are all part of this. And that's how we kind of came together one day. I'm not sure who said it, but we thought, wouldn't it be fun to do a podcast?
And then you found out different. No.
Well, our podcasts, if we have a motto, it's having fun
Yes,
with writing,
exactly,
I would say.
yeah.
And so we do have a really good time. They're limited to 15 minutes, so we kind of, we're learning as we go. We've really refined a lot of things since we started. We have, thanks to Susan's husband, I have to say thank you. He's our everything person, right? He records, he edits, he puts it up for us. And then Shannon, of course, has her technology, which is way ahead of mine. So, but we have fun, right?
Yes,
it's all about
exactly.
having fun.
So Mary Ellen, where are you from originally?
I was born and raised in Maine, so I like to say on a good day, I'm a Mainer.
A Mainer.
On a bad day,
What part of Maine?
I was born in central Maine, but I graduated from high school in southern Maine. I went to the University of Maine in Portland. And then I lived my adult life in New Hampshire. Basically,
The reason why I asked about Maine, because Barbara and I go to Maine quite often.
it's a beautiful state.
We go up to
Yeah.
Rockland and
Yeah.
Rockport in that area,
Down
Camden.
east. My folks are from down east originally, and so it's taken me a long time to kind of not have that down east accent, which I still do get teased about every once in a while if I say the word ID or for some reason people laugh. I don't know. But yeah, so Maine is a beautiful state.
Yeah.
So on a good day, I'm a Mainer. On a bad day, I'm a maniac. There you go.
Okay.
So we have fun, right?
Okay.
Right.
Exactly,
And,
yes.
okay, and we'll talk more. So Susan, tell us a little about yourself. This is the first time I've met you.
Yes, and I spent the most of my life in Lockport, New York,
Okay.
and then we moved to Florida, which is where I started writing. Started writing for my grandkids, just books for children, to get them, because I didn't see them so often, so I wanted to do something special for them. So I have several children's books that I've written, and then about the time COVID started, we moved to Westfield, so I could be closer to the grandkids.
So what's the Lockport-Westfield connection? Just your kids moved to this area?
My daughter lives in Sherman,
Oh,
one of my
okay.
daughters, and the other one lives in Middleport, New York.
Okay.
So,
So you were born and raised in Lockport?
no, I was born in Canada.
Oh, she's a
I-
foreigner.
We've moved around a bit. We've lived in the Albany area. We've Lived in Florida.
We're in Canada.
Well, I was born in Halifax. My dad
Nova
was
Scotia.
Yes,
Okay.
but my parents were from Welland,
Mm-hmm.
so that's where all my Canadian relatives are in Welland,
I
Ontario.
have Canadian relatives. My family migrated from Ireland and settled in Hamilton area.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Halifax is interesting because, as you know, the Oak Island research we do is all about where y'all was born.
Yeah.
Okay, so welcome to the show.
Thank you.
We'll talk more about the lit chicks here in a minute. And then there's my very good friend, Shannon Reber. And I always say this, that per show, we get more laughs out of Shannon per show than any other show I do.
It is kind of my thing. It's what I do. I giggle about random things. So I mean, I gotta keep you guys giggling too.
Yes, you do. And even on Facebook, you'll write something, I'm sitting there laughing at you. with you.
Oh well, you know.
Right. So, Shannon, tell us a little bit about yourself, too. So, you've been, this is your third time here, but
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
just to refresh people's memories.
Let's see. They said where they were born. So I was born in Missouri. So every once in a while, you will hear some Southern coming out of me because I do have those roots. And I started writing. I hated English class, but I had a teacher in 11th grade who he read my stuff. He was like, "This is really good. I think you will be a writer." And I went, "Aw, that's so sweet. Mr. Landy's such a nice guy." And then I just I pushed it off, but then I started writing like about 2001, 2002, something like that, and I haven't stopped. I've been obsessively writing since then, and I now have 80 published titles.
So, are you under counseling?
Writing is my counseling.
There's addiction to writing.
I can't.
I understand.
Yeah.
We're in Missouri.
Columbia.
Okay.
My dad was going to the University of Missouri.
Okay, because my dad and his brother were born in St. Louis. So
Oh,
that's-
really?
yeah.
Oh,
So, all
yeah,
these
I've been down
connections,
there.
you see how it is?
Yeah, exactly.
Crazy.
My family's actually from Joplin.
Okay. Okay, great.
Yeah.
So, Mary Ellen mentioned that this all kind of started here, right here, I guess you would say.
You started it.
Because what happened was I was interviewing you. I think I had met you through the library in Ripley or
I think
something
so,
along
yeah,
those lines.
somebody
And you said you had a book, and I saw it, and you're on a mountaintop,
Yes,
and
yes,
things like
yes.
that.
My mountain
And
friend,
so I said,
yeah.
well, you know, I probably have interviewed, I don't know, half dozen or more authors over the years. And what happened was, the rest of the story is that folks from Lakeshore Center for the Arts saw the show. And then they said, we got to find Mary Ellen. And then that's, so the same thing happened to me. Rick Mascaro, I was interviewing for the very first time, and he says, I hear you playing mean guitar. And it was downhill from there. And I've been in plays and shows and all kinds of stuff because of Rick. Rick had a really good vision, and he was able to bring people together. Plus, you know, Jackie Phelps with the Innovation Studio and so forth. So it's really a lot of fun. And as I say to people all the time, our county has a huge history of literary and creative juice, whether it's music, literature, drama, whatever aspect of it is. You know, that we're so fortunate that we have a really good place for a fertile ground for this kind of stuff. Okay, so you were 3 different authors coming from different parts of the world, really. I mean, when you think of Maine, Florida, Missouri, Canada, all over the place, that's kind of cool. I mean,
That's
you,
cool.
you bring in
Exactly.
such a rich background to each one of you.
Exactly.
So, Mary Ellen, Susan says she wrote children's books.
Right.
So what?
Well, you know, I'm a little bit different kind of writer. I write books that I want on my shelf. I don't write books for the marketplace.
Okay.
I write the books that are in my heart. And many years ago, in the early 90s, when I started writing, I was really looking for a community where I would get support. And that's been a real theme for me. I think you two would agree with
most
that.
definitely.
As
Yeah.
I live in Westfield now, which has a lot of authors.
Yeah.
Might have neighbors who are authors who come over and we chat about writing
cool
and
is
the
that?
writing life, and I just
Exactly.
love that. And so my goal really has been to help other people realize the books that they have inside of them. So yes, I do have about 18 books that I've done, and they're all over the place. Some are nonfiction. I have my memoirs. I have some fiction writing. I'm working on some works right now that are, I think, fun things to do. And I take it from that perspective rather than the marketplace so much. it's not that I'm against the marketplace, it's just that I want to enjoy the process
It's
of
what you
writing.
do.
And I want the books that I take down every once in a while and read. And other people will either like that or not. It's up to them.
You know,
So-
I don't know how you feel, but we all get to a certain point in our lives, it's like, I don't care.
Yes.
This is what I'm doing.
Yes,
You know, as a
absolutely.
musician, as a writer myself, it's like, I don't care. It's like, I do it,
Yes.
as you say, for the pleasure of
Yes,
it.
for the pleasure of
Okay.
it.
And so, Susan, you do primarily children's books, or do you have you expanded?
Well, my grandchildren are older now, so
Okay.
now I'm into different projects. And
Such as like what?
I wrote my mother's biography.
There you go. Okay.
And I wrote it because my granddaughter was visiting me, and she loved to go through the photo albums when she was little. And she'd point to everybody and who mention who they were, and we'd get to my mother, and she's like, I don't know. She had this quizzical look on her face, like, who is this person? So then I wrote the biography for my mom, and I wrote another book about the pets that we had.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Shannon put together a book, Halloween Time, an anthology that had different Halloween-related stories, and I'm in that one. And I'm working on a novel now.
Very nice. Okay. Then we get to Shannon,
Yeah.
the spooky lady.
Not always. But actually, the thing that I thought was awesome is the shop is what brought us together. Susan came into
What
the
shop would that be?
Oh, that would be Genre's Bookshop at the YWCA in Westfield, New York.
On 394.
Thank you for asking. 58 South Portage.
In case we wanted to know.
But Susan came into the shop and she was like, "Hi, I just moved to town and I really love reading." She would come in like weekly, I believe.
That was all that was open
Yeah.
at the time.
Yeah, I opened in October of 2020, so I was one of the very few shops that
I
were open.
remember. I
Yeah.
remember.
Well, Susan came in and she after it took you like a year to tell me you were a writer. So I was like, "Oh, hey, I have local authors. So why don't you have your books here?" And then Mary Ellen came in with shoot, my brain froze. With Robin Albright, and
That's right.
Robin told me that you were a writer, and she started putting her books in the shop, and we all just we clicked, and it was lovely.
It was a lovely thing.
It was lovely.
Okay. So, I know the answers, but it's always hard for me to interview people when I know the answers already. So, for those of you who are listening and watching right now, Shannon, what kind of books do you write?
Oh, fantasy.
Yeah.
Fantasy. Yes.
So, what do you mean by fantasy?
I mean, not reality. I have the one that I just published is a Phantom of the Opera retelling, but I did it with a supernatural twist. So
Of course you did.
Of course I did. That's what I do. But that's what I like. I like to use urban legends or myths and weave them through my stories, and
Very cool.
I like it because it's not
Well,
reality.
well,
Reality
you know,
is not my thing.
I just saw, a blurb on TV where they have a new production of Wicked, but that's a twist on The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah,
So, I mean,
exactly.
it sounds like you're doing sort of the same thing. That's kind of fun to do.
exactly. Yeah.
It's like me taking a song, somebody else's music, and writing the words to it.
Exactly.
By the way, I'm borrowing this song from. Okay, very cool. So we have three different authors. You met through a process of other people, and then you got this idea of a video podcast.
That was
Um,
Mary Ellen. That was all Mary Ellen.
Was it really?
Yes, it was her idea.
So let's
Somebody
distinguish
brought
it.
it up, and
Yeah.
we said,
And we
"Oh,
just-
that sounds cool," and then it just went from there.
It flew. It flew.
Because there's two different kind of podcasts. There's a video
Yeah.
Yeah.
and there's an audio.
Yeah.
Audio is much easier.
Oh, yeah, it really is.
You just nobody can see you. You can sit there in your pajamas and talk
Exactly.
and whatever.
You don't even
but-
have to wear pajamas.
Hey, this is a family show. You can wear your sneakers.
You can wear sweatpants. That's what I meant. That's all I meant.
Okay, so but a video podcast, you have to tie in audio, obviously, and the visual parts. So, Mary Ellen, what were you thinking?
Well, I am fearless.
Fearless you are.
Fearless. I'll try anything.
Okay.
And I'm not really too worried about if I embarrass myself, because I'm older. Who cares?
Like I said, who cares? You get to that point.
These
it's like,
young
okay.
ladies here, they have to trust me. I like to tell them this story. Years ago, I had a radio show in New Hampshire, and I had a friend, Tina, who was younger than I was, and I said, Tina, you're going to do this show with me. And she was like, I can't do a radio show. And I said, don't worry, I'll help you. So I called her up on Sunday night because I got a call that they could take us starting Monday, which we didn't know about. And I said, come on over to the studio tomorrow morning. And she's like, what? But it worked fine. We had a wonderful talk show.
Well, let's talk about that for a minute, because I have a background in radio also.
Yeah, it was called In the House.
Okay.
And it was supposed to be about real estate, kind of like us, the Lit Chicks are about literature, but it kind of morphed into a lot more things. And so we would have guests and we would talk. I think it was an hour long now.
How long did you do this for?
A couple of years.
Good for you.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And people were, again, hearing us on the internet. So all around, I'd be in the post office and talking, and someone would say, I recognize your voice.
Don't you love that? You're
I know.
eating at a restaurant and say, I know you are. Barb says, can we go anywhere?
My voice was stronger then, but at any rate, so I wasn't at least a bit worried about it, except that I don't know much about technology. So Susan's husband, Eric, has been wonderful. We use the centers.
Center for the
Innovation
Arts.
Studio.
Yeah.
So we always want to make sure to thank them because
absolutely. We do
they
the
provide
same.
us with that space, and then we refine it. I think every week we refine it a little bit more. But our goal is to have fun with topics about literature.
Yeah.
And we do, and we've added this like word of the day. I'll never forget my favorite word. Herkle-durkle.
Yeah, Herkle-durkle is a good one.
Which I use all the time now because I like to do that with my cats.
Wait a minute. See the camera looking at me right now?
Herkle-durkle.
What?
Herkle-durkle. You can explain
Is this a real word?
It is,
yeah.
It's one of those old English things?
Herkle-durkle
I
is
believe
when
it's
you want to lounge in bed after it's time to get up. And you're just not quite ready to get up yet.
Oh, that's what me and my dog do.
Yes, exactly.
My cat.
Exactly.
I'll have to tell them this. Herkle-durkle.
Herkle-durkle.
Do you know the origin of the word?
I believe it's Gaelic.
Okay.
I
It could
believe
very well be. It sounds
I
like
think
it.
it is,
Herkle-durkle. I have to tell my wife, hey, me and Brody are Herkle-durkle.
So we have fun.
Yeah.
And that was the
Exactly.
goal, to have fun and
Yep.
yet to share information, to
Right.
learn more. And I think we're getting
And
there.
to help other people
Yes.
get their writing done.
Yes.
That was one of the things that Mary Ellen really wanted to do.
Yes.
But we've started doing interviews too. We've had
Yes.
Charles Freedom Long, right?
Yes.
And Robin Albright.
And Robin.
So far.
Yes, when she placed third place in the short play contest, and so we had her come on and talk about her experience with that, which was very interesting.
All right. So,
Yeah.
so that we're early in this interview. Well, actually, we're halfway through the interview. Where can people see you and hear you?
We have a Facebook page, and I put it on the YouTube page for my own personal podcast, which is you can look up Genres Bookshop Podcast, but it's easier to look up genre. Yeah, I'm an idiot. Genres Bookshop Podcast is what you look up, and that is where the Lit Chicks videos go. And they also show up on Facebook, and I put them on Twitter, and I put them on Facebook. Yes, it is on YouTube. And yeah. So
I can get
think
to you
you can
even
add-
quicker. You just go to YouTube, do a search, and go Lit
Yes.
Chicks, and up they
Right.
pop.
That's what I do.
Right. So, all right. So, Lit Chicks.
Lit.
All right. So, when I first saw that, just like names of bands, the Hairy Grape or whatever, it's like Did you like play around with names for your?
that was her. That was Mary Ellen. She has been very good at this.
Oh, you guys are giving me too much credit. I think, I'm not sure, but I think lit, the word lit is used in current slang
It
to
is,
mean
yes.
fun,
To mean
light,
good.
enlightened
Yes,
or
yeah.
something, I'm not sure.
Good.
And literature, so it's kind of a morphed thing that I see
Yeah,
that being.
it was a little play on words when
Yes,
I saw that.
yes.
Yep, exactly.
And chicks, that was kind of interesting because well, there you are, the Lit Chicks. Look at you guys, all different colors.
So you can have fun.
Yeah.
You can have fun with things like this.
Exactly.
But I mean, chicks is not a term that's usually used
It's not
anymore
popular
towards
anymore,
the
yeah.
female gender. I mean, it's, chick was sort of like back in the 50s and 60s, and sort of with the, women's lib, you didn't want to be called
Well,
that.
we don't.
I still use it. I enjoy the word, so
Okay,
I'm
well, I'm
totally
just letting
fine
you know
with
that I'm
bringing it.
sensitive to
Yeah.
terminology. And
We're bringing it
I would-
back into
I would
a
not
positive.
refer to my wife as a cute chick. She's just plain cute. I might get a backhand or something. But you know what I'm saying.
I
There's-
do,
There's
but-
terms that, so then when I saw lit chicks,
Mm-hmm.
quite frankly, I thought, well, maybe they're
A band?
drunken
We
women.
weren't drunk.
Because we used to get lit.
Oh, I didn't have that meeting.
You see? I'll play that now. I sort of caught it early on. It was literature. Of course it was.
Of course
literature.
it is.
Occasionally.
See, I'm reading deeper into the meaning of this. Do you drink on your show? No, we don't drink on our show.
Well, I mean, we
On
could.
the show.
Afterwards, hopefully.
Some people might think.
Okay, so as you know, I'm involved with a video podcast, and we're not going to talk about that, but I want to talk about the process.
Yeah.
Okay, so when the three of you are together, I mean, how do you work as three? Two is tough. One is interesting, but to work with three people
We
on a night.
actually work very well.
Yeah.
We really
Yeah.
do, because we sort of, at first, we had to kind of shuffle the seats a bit, and then it became apparent that Susan was good at opening and closing.
Yep.
We devised mechanisms. We started with a cardboard, cheat sheet, and now it's a video.
Cardboard cheat sheet. What do you mean by a cardboard cheat
Hello,
sheet?
where the chicks go by.
Oh, you mean like when those cards they used to hold
Yeah.
up in the studio?
Exactly.
Hi, I'm Ed McMahon. It's the Tonight Show. The cue card.
There you go, there you go. And so now we've got an actual video thing that we
A
watch.
monitor that we.
Oh, you do that?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
Eric's
didn't do
awesome.
that.
Eric has everything down to a T.
Yeah, they wanted us to use it too, and
Oh, we've shuffled chairs.
we ad-lib so much that we would just be all over
You know,
the
when
place.
we start, we go, okay, which order should we
Absolutely,
do?
absolutely.
And we always start with a joke, that you don't hear it. We
don't hear
start
it.
before the show.
Get the mood lighter.
Oh,
Exactly.
okay.
Sometimes they're better than others.
Three little chicks walk into a bar, and they don't leave till tomorrow.
Precisely.
They're still there.
Okay, so
How did you know?
so anyways, so you use cue cards, and now you're using the, what do they call that?
Teleprompter.
Teleprompter, exactly.
Because we try to keep it to 15 minutes.
So do you write
Give it to
everything
me.
you're going to say ahead of time?
Nope.
No.
So what do you use the teleprompter for?
Just so we
The
remember.
opening.
The opening.
To remember.
Okay.
And the word of the day is
Bookends.
always on the
Yeah, it's
on the
bookends.
teleprompter.
The what is?
The word of the day is always on the
Oh,
teleprompter.
Urkel.
Herkle Durkle.
Okay.
We did shenanigans because that's one of my favorite words. Yes.
That's,
Tomfoolery.
that's an Irish name.
Amen, sister. Oh, brother. Sorry.
Okay, so then as far as topics go, who decides
Well,
that?
we started, we started, the first one I think we did was a history of publishing, which
yeah.
I find a fascinating
Yeah,
subject.
it
And
really
so
is.
We started with that, and we try to bring in things that will be informative and interesting to people who are either writing or thinking about writing. Because,
Yep.
we're at various stages
Right.
in our writing life. So it might be, how do you develop your characters, or how do you come up with a storyline? How do you, how-tos are part of it,
Yeah.
but also information and what other writers are doing and what's going on in the writing world. Yeah. And with the theme that I have is creating a writing community. So physically,
Yes.
at the writers group and also in Westfield, we're creating a writing community.
Right.
But also online,
Yeah.
as people tune in. So
Yeah.
they're all part of our community to support and nurture writing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how many video podcasts have you produced so far?
Don't remember. Don't remember at all.
We're
It's-
around the 20 mark,
Yeah.
I think.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing it once a week, and I think.
Oh, every week?
Yeah. Once a week on Tuesdays,
Yeah.
and yeah, it works out nicely.
Okay, so again, I always like to talk about the process so people understand what goes into the work, because
Yeah.
it's not just walk in and start talking. I mean, just stuff
Yeah.
that you have to prepare.
Yep.
So let me see if I got this right. So do you have like a calendar of topics that you're going to discuss going forward?
We did make a list in the beginning
Yeah.
of
Okay.
topics, and we always meet before the program. So the
Okay.
day before or something, we get together and we discuss what we're going to do.
Yeah.
And what topic, and what do we want to say and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So we have, but we don't want to say what we're going to say because we lose some of the
True.
Yeah.
the spontaneity.
Kind of keep it
yeah.
more general
Yeah.
and then fill
Yeah.
it in once you get there.
Right.
Precisely.
I do that every
Yeah.
Saturday morning.
So you understand our process quite
Yes,
well. Yeah.
Right, it's an interesting process. Well, as you know, I always tell people, people on TV, and certainly not the radio, I write notes, and every show looks different on paper, because I'm scribing while you're talking, so I come back to that topic. And so, to me, it's a very creative process, just to listen and then ask questions.
I think that our chemistry, we know each other well enough that we
Right.
can carry on the conversation.
Yes.
And are sensitive to each other enough so that it works.
Okay,
Yeah.
so every week you produce a 15-minute
Mhm.
video podcast, and you
Correct.
place it in social media.
Yes.
Correct, yes.
All right,
Right.
and you're up to about 20.
Yeah.
Around there.
All right, so for those that are listening, once again, so you have a meeting, you have kind of a calendar of topics. Do you have enough topics to keep going? I mean, is this going to go forever?
Oh, yes.
I think it can.
We can go for a long, long time.
Long time.
Yeah, as long as I live.
Long- Just keep going. Okay, so you walk into Lakeshore Center for the Arts, which is in the back of the Presbyterian Church on the third floor. They still have not provided oxygen yet. I always bug Rick about
But there's a
that.
chair now.
There's a chair, but
Yeah.
it's like, I remember the first couple times I went there for I forgot what it was for. Anyways, I go, don't you guys have a can of oxygen here? By the time I got it, I was hauling stuff with me, I guess. And it was like, holy cow. But I
good for
developed
your legs.
stamina and I get up those
It's
stairs.
good for your legs, yes.
Yes, it is. Okay, so you walk into the building, you go up to the third floor, and you go into the Innovation Studio, which, by the way, Jackie Phillips
Hey.
basically developed because of
Yes.
her background.
Yeah.
And then what happens? So
Well, we set up there's a black, curtain, and we set up our chairs. We have our little sort of setup that we have.
so a studio setup.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and we turn all the lights on, and Eric sets up the camera and hooks up everything, and then
And then sometimes he remembers to turn on the microphone. Sometimes he forgets.
we've had to redo the podcast.
So you may not know this, but Randy, that's on the other side of the wall there, he's our phone guy here and cameraman. He's our cameraman for Oak Island Plus. And so what we always do is like a 10-second test.
Yeah.
So he will test the lighting and the sound, and you do some crazy hurkle-durkle stuff. And then he runs over to the computer, puts it in there.
Shenanigans, not
and-
hurkle-durkle.
Shenanigans? Well, for me, it's hurkle-durkle. And I'm still like half asleep. And but Jim is always on cue. But anyways, he'll do a little test
Yes,
to see.
yeah.
So that's just something to think about in the future.
We have a checklist now.
Yes.
And we have a reminder to check the checklist.
There you go.
Exactly.
So there's a lot to this. So
Yeah.
where did your husband learn all this stuff? I mean, does he have a background in it, or just likes to do it?
First he worked at the New York State Police Academy. He was a state trooper, and he was in charge of a lot of online learning and
Oh, okay.
that kind of stuff. And then when we moved to Florida, he started working for Disney in the media department.
Oh my gosh.
We got it good.
Score.
Yeah. So he would work on things like there's always people coming into the park filming something, and like the Christmas parade is filmed actually much earlier than it's shown, and so he worked with them for
Yeah.
a while.
Yeah.
Not a long time.
So he
Yeah, we owe
volunteered.
him a lot. We owe him a lot, yeah.
Okay.
He's the fourth member.
Well, and like I said,
Yeah.
Randy is our
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
you have to have somebody on the other side of the camera.
Yep.
Because people say, I remember Jackie saying to me, well, this is what you tick, 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 and I'm taking pictures of the camera, and I go, I don't know what I'm doing here. and so I said, can't we just have Randy come? And so Randy's been our third wheel.
I think things
That's
fell into
amazing.
place. We have the facility.
Yeah.
We have her husband.
Yep.
And then we have
You team.
our
The creatives, yeah.
Our partner.
I have to
Creative
say though
detective.
that my husband Eric does enjoy the whole
I think he
process.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah. He told me when he was in junior high, he was the AV kid.
Oh, okay.
Well, That fits in perfectly.
And if
then.
we forget a joke, he gives us one.
Yes. Sometimes they're funnier than others.
Okay.
Sometimes
Yeah.
they're not that
So,
good.
for instance, in this studio, we've got, I don't know, how many lights are there? Like 20-some lights, I
Yeah.
guess. People always
There's a
come in and go
lot.
like, I can't see. I go, I've gotten so used to everything, my eyes are bleached out or something. But there, lighting is important.
Yes,
Yeah,
it is
it
important.
is.
And
Yeah.
you don't even think about that.
Yep.
And I don't know how your husband is. He pretty meticulous about the lighting? Does
Pretty much, yeah.
OCD
Yeah.
almost?
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
He sets
Yeah.
it up very
Randy's
well.
the same way. He'll
Yeah.
move that just like
Or
tiny little
move
bit.
your chairs this way,
Yeah,
that
face
way.
way.
Yeah.
You're out
You're
of
not
frame.
quite
Move that
right.
chair in.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of,
Yeah.
it's production.
It
right?
is,
Yeah,
absolutely.
exactly.
So like here,
Yeah.
we've got things on the floor, everything's marked, but when people are using the studio from different things and, things get moved around and
Yeah.
lights, so,
Yeah, exactly.
so the lighting is important. And then, of course,
Yeah.
the sound. Now, do you mic or do you just use the camera for miking?
He's got several different microphones that one's pointing straight at Mary Ellen,
I know.
so she can be heard.
I have to work on my voice.
Roger?
Yeah. it's-
Well, not all of us can be loud.
It's true.
I used
but
to be
he
loud.
likes he
It's
likes to
just
tell us
not
that Susan and I can be heard from down the hall, and Mary Ellen, you have to be right next to her.
Yeah. When I was a superintendent, my staff used to tell me my voice got there 3 minutes before I did. You develop a booming voice sometimes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, okay. All right. So Eric gets
Eric.
gets the lighting, gets the sound equipment, hopefully ready to roll, and then you're seated and you can't move. I mean, you're there for the duration. 15
Exactly.
minutes though goes real quick. Though.
Oh,
It
yes,
really
it's very
does.
quick.
Yeah.
And so it's tough enough, as I said, for two people, whatever, to work together. But how do you manage to get 3 people to be cohesive in your discussion?
We haven't had a problem.
No,
It's
no,
really,
hasn't been a
look,
problem.
we just,
Yeah.
we click somehow.
Mary Ellen and Shannon have much more experience than I. I'm more the newbie, and so they do more of the talking because
But
they,
you're the anchor.
Yeah.
You're the anchor. Yeah, she's the one who opens, she's the one who has the word of the day.
I sort of had the
Yeah.
same job on ours.
Yeah.
I'm the Ed McMahon of the show. I welcome everybody, and I'll say, and then Jim starts talking, and he throws it back to me. But we've been doing this for, I don't know, almost a year and a half.
We got to
now.
add to the fact that we all have a passion about writing.
Exactly.
That
And,
helps.
and it comes
Exactly.
from probably different perspectives.
Yes.
Shannon has her perspective. I'm a little different, and
Mm-hmm.
so we complement each other.
Exactly.
Um,
We do.
And it works.
Yeah.
And that's important because
Definitely.
egos can't be in the way.
No, you can't have
and
ego.
because it just
Exactly.
doesn't work. And you see this quite often in
Yeah.
different scenarios.
And that can be a challenge for a group, which we.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I said to you,
Yeah.
how does
Yeah.
it work with 3? But it seems like everybody kind of
Yeah.
has a
We
comfort
share
level.
we all
We
look out
share-
for each other.
We
Exactly.
share glory equally.
Yeah. Wait, there's glory? I didn't
I
know
know.
that. I had no idea. Where's mine?
And fortune.
And I'm waiting.
And fortune.
Oh my gosh.
I'm
You
still
know,
waiting
Jim-
for it, but when it gets here, we'll share
We
it.
always
The
laugh.
check's in the mail.
We always laugh and go, we have made no money doing this for the last 16 months or whatever. So I'm sure.
We're
So
just
like-
having fun, that's
Yeah,
all.
yeah, exactly.
It is. We're having fun.
Yeah.
We started out with the intention of it being fun.
Precisely.
Well,
Yes.
as you go along, hopefully, a year from now, it'll continue to grow, and you'll go, wow, we started out with
Yes.
this little seed, and now look where it's
Well,
taken
we're
us.
also eager to learn.
Yeah.
So we've
Yes.
learned every single time we learn something.
Exactly.
Whether it's
I know.
technical production or
Yeah.
something from a research.
Okay, so you sit there, the 3 of you, and you're talking about Herkle-Durkle or whatever.
Shenanigans. You keep
Shenanigans. I like
forgetting.
Herkle-Durkle better. And then you have a topic, and I think I saw something like how to start a story. You said character development.
Yep,
I
yep.
seen you have different things.
Yeah.
All right, so you talk about that, which is fine. But from a video production point of view now, what happens when you're done talking?
Eric happens when we're done talking.
Okay, so what
Yeah,
happens?
he takes the disc
Yep, the little
home,
card, yeah.
and he just works on inserting things, and he'll put our names under our
Oh, let's do an example. Jeff, pop up a lower third real quick. And I'll explain it. There we go. He does
Yep, he
that
does
for you,
that
right?
kind of
This is
thing.
called
Yep.
lower third, I believe.
Yep, yep.
Okay.
And
And if we talk about a certain book, he'll insert that into.
there you go. There you go.
Yep. Or if one of us forgets the name of the author that we're talking about, that would be me. He looks it up and then inserts the name above. I don't remember the name, and then he puts it in. So he is the peanut gallery of the podcast as well.
Sometimes he's the voice from the darkness.
He is. Exactly.
Thank you, Jim. Perfect timing. You have to. Justin is often my voice over here. That wasn't funny. I tried.
So he's the one who makes it all look good.
Yes, he is.
And we should mention the music.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we
That
went
was fun.
It took us a few hours, I think. to
It did,
figure
but
it
he
out.
showed he played us clips of like probably 30 different free songs that we could use, and we were like, okay, oh, that one works really well. So after
not that one.
no, definitely not that one.
I think that was the hardest decision we
Yeah,
had.
it was.
Well, and the same goes for this particular show. I think Barb and I were down in Savannah somewhere, and we were on vacation, and it's a long story, but I had to develop the show, for Chautauqua Sunrise, and you need the intro and the outro and all that stuff.
Ah, okay.
And so I think we had some free music, like you said, or we bought for the studio. And I think I changed it up after that. That's where you hear the beginning, it's a guitar work in the beginning. And but yeah, it's like, what do I want people to hear and think about when I'm on the air?
Right.
And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have the perfect intro and exit. I
think,
I
yes,
love
it is
fits us.
perfect.
It really fits us. I
Yeah.
think.
It does.
But
Yeah.
that was a decision that we
Yeah.
had to do.
Yeah.
And I remember it took us a while.
It did.
Okay, so Eric takes it home, he drops it into some software. We do it right there at the studio on the computers, but we agonize over little things. And,
Yes.
and when you say you're dropping in, you're actually pulling in video clips and graphics and things like that.
Yeah.
And there's a way to put it into the software so that it all comes together. It's like, it's really kind of cool how it works.
Yeah.
And then after a while, it's sort of like, this is not such a big deal. But once you get to understand it. And do you get to the point where when you're producing something yourselves that if I keep doing this, Erica's going to shoot me? We've gone to the or whatever. See, we edit out like coughs and things like that. So so now it's like, don't cough, don't stop and say, oh, I made a mistake. Just don't do it.
I'm probably the one he gets
Now I want to
Okay.
cough just to see how it works.
Because we have to edit those things out quite often. So it's fun to do. So you have 20 different shows, and you're on YouTube, the Lit Chicks.
Yes.
And we're down to like 2 minutes here. So I'm going to go right down the line. And so I'm going to let you talk about the Lit Chicks, anything you want to say, and down one at
Okay,
a time.
so from my perspective, I'm older than these two, so I'm looking at having fun. Having fun with whatever I'm doing, and writing is my passion. So this is a perfect match for me.
Yeah.
And that's what I try to convey.
And so if somebody's watching Lit Chicks, what are they going to get out of it?
They're going to find out interesting things about writing. They're going to see that you can have writing community, friends that you share writing topics with, and hopefully go away feeling a little bit happier for the day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Susan?
We just want to promote writing and promote other authors too, which we're starting.
Precisely.
We're starting to have guests of other authors, and we're just here to support one another, the writing community.
I think whether it's dance, songwriting, writing, whatever, it's a scary place for some people.
Exactly.
And they're afraid.
Yeah.
Because think about the culture that we live in today. People are just beating on each other left and right.
Yep.
And if you can write in a safe place,
Right.
that's a special thing. So
Exactly.
congratulations.
Absolutely.
Shannon.
I don't have anything else. They said everything. They covered it all. So it's perfect.
All your books, where would somebody find those books?
Amazon, actually, for all of us.
Okay.
I think
We're all
Mary
on
Ellen has
Amazon.
Barnes and Noble, right?
I do, but
Yeah.
mostly Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon. Yeah.
And if you want to get a hard copy right now,
You go to Genre's Bookshop, and you stop in and say hello.
okay. And you're open from what time to what time?
11 until 5 on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and 10 to 5, except today, on Saturdays.
Okay. So a bookstore right
A
here
bookstore.
in our communities in Westfield.
Exactly.
Lit Chicks, congratulations.
Thank you.
Well
Thank
done.
you.
I'm very pleased that we were able to sit and chat and keep writing, and I'm sure our paths will cross some more in the near future.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. So folks, if you want to check it out, go to YouTube and look up Lit Chicks. I know we're scrolling out. I don't hear any music, but that's okay. So we're going to do this all again next week, next Saturday from 9 to 10. Check us out on Spectrum 1301. We are broadcasting twice a day at 2 and 8? Something like that. And we'll be on WRFA 107.9 Tuesday at 1 o'clock. Take care. We'll see you next time.